Hello, it's Rosana. So today, like I said yesterday, we're going to talk about the third agreement from the book The Four Agreements by Don Miguel de Ruiz. So this one I also tend to do my best to follow. This one is about not making an assumption. Usually when we make an assumption, he explains in the book, like you're asking for problems, like you're misunderstanding the concept. You create some sadness, and it's usually rooted in it roots and it creates drama in your life because you're afraid to ask for a you're afraid to ask questions, you're afraid to find out the real answer, so then you create this emotional poison inside of you. So when we assume a lot of stuff, I tend to assume things sometimes because I don't want to ask, or I'm afraid to hear the answer because in my mind the answer is worse than the actual reality. So I just kind of, I can relate myself because I make an ass out of myself assumptions, right? Um, so when we make an assumption, we are afraid to be wrong. I think he explains that we have a fear of being ourselves because we assume if we are ourselves, people won't like us. People won't like how we are, what we say, what we do for a living, whether you are whatever you are, you're just afraid, so you assume of other people, so you hold yourself back, so you become somebody else. You're afraid to being rejected, so you sometimes, we are the we hold each other back. And even in relationships, like when it comes to relationships, sometimes we assume that our boyfriends or our girlfriends or our husbands or our wife knows us already, so they should know what we want when we're mad. They should know why we're mad. So we assume and we don't say anything. So sometimes, he gives an example like the wife waiting for the husband, and he comes in and she's pissed off, and she's assuming that he knows why she's pissed off. But bottom line, she never really communicates to him what's wrong, and he doesn't know. So she gets hurt, she feels emotionally destroyed, and he has no idea what's going on. So I think as humans, we need to communicate better, and instead of assuming things, it's really hard in this room. Instead of assuming things, like we should ask questions, communicate, and use our voice. You know, we sometimes we lose that courage to talk, and we are all stuck in our heads. We get stuck in our heads, and we're just sometimes we underestimate ourselves, and we sometimes we overestimate ourselves because we assume that we can do something. We can be the next Bill Gates or the next beautiful singer or even the greatest mom in the world. Like, so we underestimate ourselves. We assume that we're gonna suck, or we assume that or sometimes we overestimate ourselves. So we have to keep that balance. It's always about the yin and the yang. Yin and the yang is a good topic too. Not gonna get into that right now, but just make sure you don't assume and open up your mouth. I have trouble with that sometimes. I think I tend to hold a lot of stuff inside of me because I try to avoid conflicts, but it actually creates more conflict. I like my earring. So just don't assume, and especially in a relationship, you're better off asking questions, and allows you to be yourself. And just ask questions. Don't be afraid to get that answer, or even if that answer is not right. If you like somebody, tell them you like somebody. If you don't like what they're doing, or your boss is not like, you don't like how she's saying or treating you, just communicate, open up. Don't assume that she's going to shut you down. Also, in my job, sometimes I get to go to different trips around the world, and people say, how do you get to do that? I'm like, well, I asked. The power of asking. Another subject. The power of asking. You just have to ask. Don't assume that they're going to shut you down. Don't you create all this whole negative world in your head, and you create all this stuff that is not really real. Like he says, we create drama, we create our emotional poison. So just these are things that we should live by. So just to recap, the first one was be your word. So do your best to be your word. Second of all was don't take anything personal. And third one that we are up right now is do not make an ass out of yourself, or do not make an assumption. It's not it's not healthy. Just open up your mouth, say what you mean, and mean what you say. I think Jim Rohn said that. But just open up and express yourself, and If people that love you will understand, and people that don't, well, you obviously did not need them in your life. So, and so, with that in mind, so have a great night. I'm gonna go. You know what I'm drinking already, I won't say. I should get paid for this. But yeah, and I'll see you tomorrow with the 4 agreement, and then we'll close on the 4 agreement, and then we'll do something else. Maybe we'll go hiking. Alright guys, bye, have a good night. Thanks for watching.